Chicago Fire is in the home stretch. The firefighting drama is nearing end of its current season, and as such, details about the final episode are starting to surface. We already know that two of the show's characters, Darren Ritter, Daniel Keary, and Sam Carver, Jake Lockett, will be saying goodbye at some point before the season 14 premiere. Jocelyn Houdon, the actress who plays Lizzie Novick, let fans in on another bombshell revelation during a recent interview with Us Weekly. She confirmed that not only will season 13 final be filled with tension, but it will end on an unresolved cliffhanger that will have fans worried about the future of certain characters. Jocelyn Houdon confirmed a tense final episode. "There's a cliffhanger," Houdon told the outlet, before doubling down and noting that suspenseful is the only word to describe what occurs. Chicago Fire is no stranger to cliffhanger finals. The show has given us some of the best ones in one Chicago history, and they typically resolve around the fate of a firefighter or medic in the line of duty. We've established that Ritter and Carver are on their way out, so we could be looking at an instance in which one of them gets injured, and we're forced to wait until the season 14 premiere to find out what happened to them. Chicago Fire has employed this tactic to write out other beloved characters in the past, including Leslie Shea, Lauren German, and Otis, Yuri Sardarov. Ritter and Carver are at risk to get killed off. The cliffhanger that Houdon has confirmed could very well mark the end of the line for Ritter, Carver, or perhaps even both of them. Ideally, we'd like both men to make it through the finale alive and decide to leave Firehouse 51 on their own accord. Given that we're dealing with two simultaneous exits, though, the writers may consider it redundant to give both Ritter and Carver a happy ending. That said, we are looking at characters who we know are not returning in season 14, so it would not be much of a cliffhanger to see their life hang in the balance. If it were someone who we assumed was returning, then there would be much more dramatic tension. Not that we necessarily want that either. Houdon did offer some respite, noting that the episodes leading up to the season 13 final will be less focused on deadly situations and more on the dynamics between different 51 members. It's more so focused on, like, interpersonal relationships till the end of the season, she explained. With Chicago Fire's 13th season hurtling toward its dramatic conclusion, fans are bracing themselves for what's being teased as a suspenseful, high-stakes final. Jocelyn Houdon's recent confirmation that the season will end on a major cliffhanger has sparked intense speculation about which characters will be left in peril and whether Firehouse 51 will face another heartbreaking loss. Given the confirmed departures of Darren Ritter, Daniel Keary, and Sam Carver, Jake Lockett, the most obvious assumption is that one, or both, of them will be in grave danger when the credits roll. However, Chicago Fire has a history of subverting expectations, and the real shocker might involve someone entirely unexpected. Ritter and Carver's exits, a deadly departure. Ritter and Carver's exits have already been confirmed, but how they leave remains the biggest question. While some characters, like Kelly Severide, Taylor Kinney, and Stella Kidd, Miranda Ray Mayo, have left 51 temporarily only to return, others, like Otis and Shea, met tragic ends. Given showrunner Andrea Newman's track record, a heroic but fatal sacrifice isn't off the table. Carver, who has struggled with personal demons and a complicated past, could go out in a blaze of glory, saving a teammate in a catastrophic fire. Ritter, on the other hand, has been a steady, beloved presence, making his potential death even more devastating. If the writers want maximum emotional impact, they might follow the Otis playbook, giving him a heroic send-off that leaves the house reeling. But killing both would feel excessive, which is why some fans suspect only one will die, while the other exits quietly, perhaps transferring to another house or pursuing a new career path. Could someone else be in danger? Houdon's tease about the cliffhanger being suspenseful doesn't exclusively point to Ritter or Carver. The show has a knack for blindsiding audiences. Remember when Matt Casey, Jess Spencer, was nearly killed in a factory explosion? Or when Severide was held at gunpoint in a hostage situation? One theory is that the cliffhanger could involve Violet Mikami, Hanako Greensmith. After her near-death experience earlier this season, she's still recovering, and another brush with mortality could test her relationship with Ritter, especially if he's the one who has to save her. Another possibility: Chief Bowden, Eamon Walker. Though he's the backbone of 51, Bowden has faced threats before, and with his leadership constantly tested.